Sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, M.D., Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, M.D.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we do encourage you to call in to join in today. Well, she's back, folks. We do this normally on a monthly basis. Sometimes we accelerate it. Today, Dr. Vavavoom herself, Susan Smith-Jones, will be our guest. Have you, as an American, lost your compassion? Well, there's a lot in the air going on about this compassion issue. She feels so compassionate about it, she demanded to speak on the compassion issue today. We're going to get to Susan Smith-Jones right after that first break and find out if you've lost it, how to get it back. Compassion is the discussion today. Now, in the course of our discussion with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones, you want to call in to ask a question or make a comment. That number, as always, will be 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. What about it? Have you lost your compassion? She'll teach you how to go find it. Now, calendar-wise, let's take a look at things, see how things are shaping up in this month of October. On Friday, we'll open it up to you. We're going to have an open phone day on Friday, allowing you to come on in and set the agenda. Whatever's on your mind is going to be okay with me. And we've had a good Friday. Last time we were with you on a Friday last week, we did the same thing. And you opened it up and took over the show. Hopefully you'll do the same this coming Friday. Don't forget MSG testing, MCG testing, multifunctional cardiogram testing begins again tomorrow. Now, the device has now been procured. We have it in the office. It's here all the time. And so you're going to be hearing a lot about multifunctional cardiogramming and your ability to be able to determine the status of those coronary arteries as though you had a full-blown cardiac catheterization, which no one ever wants to have. Well, you don't have to do that to get that information. This space-age electronic device, which we unveiled here, one of the first in Western Pennsylvania to have it. It'll be quite a while before this thing catches up to our accelerated pace of bringing you what is the brand newest thing in the conventional world. And this is truly conventional too. It's insurance covered. All of you who are signed up to have that testing, if you're not clear about the time slotting, make sure you give us a call sometimes a day so that we can tell you what those time slots are. They should not have changed, yet you might want to make certain that you have the right time in mind. Our number here at the office, and you'll have to wait until about 9:05 to give us a call, is 724-942-3002. MCG testing has returned. Then on Monday, we're bringing back a guest. I looked on the calendar. He was last with us on March 10th, and the reason he was is that he was right here in Pittsburgh. He traveled from his home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to meet with you at the Freedom of Choice Cancer Therapy Group to discuss testing that he does in his lab, HCG testing, to determine your status with respect to cancers. Now, this is a completely new, different approach to lab work, which can reflect if there is any cancer going on at all in as small as a cluster of 12 cells. 12, mind you. It's just unbelievable to think that something is that sensitive. But we're going to be having Dr. Emil Shandel as our guest on Monday to talk about what he calls a cancer profile laboratory analysis, allowing you in the comfort of your own home, literally, to find out what your status is with, well, do you have cancer? Or what if you've had it and you think it's now gone. Is it really gone? These are the questions we'll be addressing when we're with Emil Shandel. That'll be on Wednesday. Then, of course, David Brownstein returns. He comes back usually on a monthly basis himself to discuss his newest book entitled The Soy Deception. That's the way October is looking. Just a little glimpse into November. We're going to be bringing Roland Thomas back. You know him as the the naturopathic physician from Toronto, Canada, teamed up with the Soviet scientist called, his name was Michael Kiriak. The outgrowth of that relationship has brought us a all-inclusive product, everything wrapped into one called, well, they call it F3, but what it is a bioengineered algae concentrate. It's a new concept. It certainly is the supplement that I take, and you know of Roland. He's been on our show many times. But now he's going to be talking about diabetes, mass destruction, and what to do about it with respect to the supplements that he will and has been bringing to you since he arrived on the scene. So that's our schedule as it stands right now. As I make more additions, I'll let you know all about it. Now, in the news, things in the news are shaping up. This is coming right out of Pittsburgh Tribune Review, so maybe if you get that publication, you've seen these items. But they do have relevance here to our show. I always try to bring you the newest. Turns out there's going to be another study done on the inappropriate placement of stents. You know, we just went through this a few months ago out there in Westmoreland County in the Excella health industry, the hospital complexes out there, where a tremendous number of inappropriate stent placements were done. It was uncovered, it was discovered, and although I'd have to say the number dropped considerably from the original estimates, they still were placing those stents, a couple of doctors out there, inappropriately. Now, turns out UPMC, a pretty big player in the Pittsburgh area, and is now conducting a similar study, going to be conducted over the next 4 or 5 weeks or so at these hospitals, Presbyterian, Shadyside, Mercy, and Passavant, to do the same thing. Have stents been placed inappropriately at those facilities? Well, they think they might have been, and there are 84 cardiologists involved. This plays right into this MCG testing that we're talking about, where it's possible to know the status of your coronary arteries with a test allowing you to lie in a bed and in 6 minutes know the same results that you could obtain by having that full-blown cardiac cath. Well, more about MCG testing as time rolls on. Of course, we're smack dab in the middle of the pink revolution, and it's code pink everywhere. It is October. It is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And as you know, although we don't have a fountain at the Three Rivers Point to let us know that it's October, because that fountain usually turns pink. Of course, you know the fountain is down. They're reconstructing it. They had trouble with the pumps. There is no pink fountain, but there's pink everywhere in the air. Just tune up a football show or football game on NFL Sunday, and you see pink everywhere. Of course, I like the concept of having time set aside to make women aware of the possibility of their breast health, but I don't like the tool. The mammography issue is a dog, it's a pooch. You know that I feel about it. I'm recommending, once again, that you consider thermography. It's much more sensitive. There are no side effects. There is no potential harm to come to you. I promise to bring you the girls sometime this month to rediscuss that issue. If you're not familiar with thermography at all, you want to stay tuned and listen to when they will arrive, because they will give you a new perspective on the breast health issue that you just have never had before. Okay, folks, that's the way it stands right now as terms of what's in the news, what's pertinent. Let's do this. We're going to take a short break. And in the interim, we're going to go find her. Guess what? She's not too far away. In fact, she's been listening to us in these first few minutes. That's an unusual step for me, at least. We'll see what she thinks about what we're doing around here. And then we're going to find out how compassionate you are. And if you're not, what to do about it with Susan Smith-Jones. Be back in a moment with Susan.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Honey, just got the word. The company's new health plan has a $5,000 deductible. We have to make sure nobody gets sick this year. Remember what those doctor's visits cost for last year's colds and flu? Well, sorry, I gotta go. Love you.
We can do this. We can cut the fast food lunches. Soda, that's a lot of sugar. We could all take that evening walk. And hey, I heard a program about fruit of the spirit. What did they say? 1 ounce, the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits with herbs and minerals. We could add some to our breakfast protein shake. Fruit of the Spirit is unique whole fruit puree. Fruit of the Spirit contains fresh fruits native to the Holy Land and alkalizing minerals from the Dead Sea. With no added sugars, Fruit of the Spirit's unique product from 5 years of work from science-based nutritional experts. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, convenient, affordable, and delicious. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. It's heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. We're here on a Wednesday morning version of the show, a favorite day for our featured guest today. She keeps coming back, bringing you interesting information to make your life better and healthier and giving you greater longevity in the process. Of course, we call her, in a very affectionate way, Dr. Vava Voom. She's got so much energy that she just exudes it. You can get that feeling as she speaks to you on the show that we're about to bring to you right now. She's been in the background listening to us in our initial first segment. I'm interested in what she thinks about it. But today she's going to be bringing you issues of compassion. Well, do you have compassion? How do you know if you don't? And if you don't, how do you get some of that? That's our topic today with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. Susan, welcome aboard. Thanks for coming back, and I hope you enjoyed participating with us in that first segment. What did you think? What do we do here in Pittsburgh?
Yes, listen, I didn't know that you were so versatile in all the guests you have on.
Oh!
You know, it made me wish I was right in your area, but people can listen in anywhere, right, online?
Oh, yeah, it's an online phenomenon. You can go there and you can listen to our show sometime today. I know you don't like to do that. You've already told me that it's not your thing. But you can dial up any one of our shows by just going to the website, djcmd.com, click on Archives, and every show that I've done since 2006, Susan, is right there for you to pick from. So
5 shows.
5 shows? No, hundreds.
2005.
Whatever.
No, I told you I happily listen to other shows. I just prefer not to listen to my shows.
Okay. Well, then you'll have quite a selection to pick from. Take me up on my offer. I'm sure you will enjoy, and you who like to listen to other people. I mean, we get great authors that come here who publish books just like yourself. By the way, that book, I hope you're talking about it this morning, Walking on Air, your newest. But, Susan, we have some varied discussions with you. This one's got me a little confused. You're always bringing us such pertinent information. This topic of compassion, which you were very compassionate about because you said, hey, please, can we put the weight loss stuff, because we were supposed to be talking about weight loss today, do it in a future show. What's happened in your life that you felt so strongly that this is what you wanted to bring to our listeners today, this issue of compassion or lost compassion? evidently something's happened that has created this fervor. What happened, Susan, and why so important to you to discuss this?
Well, actually, there hasn't been a lack of compassion on my end, but it baffles me when I watch talk shows and news shows and see how quite often people seem to me to be getting meaner to one another. You know, from the halls of Congress to the main streets of small-town America and our big cities, it seems like no one is capable of living civilly. You know, I watch people argue on, talk shows on TV, and often people don't like it when other people have a different viewpoint. And it got me to thinking, is there a pill for compassion? Are people losing their compassion? So I've thought about it a lot over the last month. I want to remind everyone to get out a pen and paper, because there's some things you might want to write down. But here's what I think is going on. And no, there's not a pill you can take for more compassion, but there are many things you can do to increase your ability to be compassionate. But most people, Dennis, are burning the candle at both ends daily. They're in severe sleep debt. It's hard to feel compassionate when you are exhausted all the time. Most people have no time to call their own with responsibilities throughout the day, and they're living on the fast track. And I think that causes people, now bear with me for a moment, I'm going to explain this. I think that, obviously it makes people more stressed out. And when you don't manage your stress, you get more fearful, because it's like you feel like you're losing control over your life with living on the fast track, no time to call your own, can't even get enough sleep. And then that leads to a lower self-esteem. And I think self-esteem, the low self-esteem, is the one thing that people wrestle with the most in life. When your self-esteem is lower, you feel less compassionate towards other people. And low self-esteem disconnects you from others. And and then there's this unwritten rule in life that you're always attracting back to yourself what you think, what you believe, how you feel. Whatever you put your conscious awareness on, you pull more of that back into your life. And, and I see that, I this from previous shows. I have a private practice. People come to me from all over the world, or I go to them. And I see it in my practice of people not caring as much about others, with the exception of their spouses or family members, because they have no time to care. And so I want to go through some ways that I have discovered that you can actually increase your compassion in your life, from foods you eat to how you think, some natural remedies, your attitude, regarding sleep, spending time in nature. These are some things I'd love to talk about today. But on a side note, can you name, and I'm not going to have you name them now because the answers are in my October newsletter that I just posted on my website.
Oh, tell us about how to get to that website and read that newsletter. They're very good. I've written many of them.
Thank you. It's SusanSmithJones.com. My name, SusanSmithJones.com. That's how you get to my website. Right on the home page, in the photo, it says October newsletter. Click on that. You all can access it free, but keep in mind that when you sign up for it in the sidebar by clicking the subscribe button, it came out 2 days before October 1st, only to people who are signed up. And then everyone who signed up is entered into a weekly drawing where you might be selected, and I call you, I connect with you, I get your telephone number, and I call you for at least a minimum of a 30-minute telephone visit where you can ask me anything you want about health issues. If you have no health issues, we can just visit for at least 30 minutes. But in the October newsletter, you'll get the answer. And here's the question. Can you name 10 parts of the human body with 3 letters only? Now, you can't use jargon or slang. 10 parts of the human body with 3 letters only. I'm going to get, now see, most people can get 5 or 6.
Yeah, I've got about 4 right now, but...
The smarter ones get 8 to 9, but very rarely can people get 10. Remember, no jargon or slang is permitted, and I'll give you one, I-E-Y-E. So you've got
You already took mine away. It was one of mine.
I'm so sorry. But you can get all the answers. Go to October newsletter. The second box gives you the question and tells you where to find the answers. But anyway, back to compassion. Are you, since I have never met you in person, are you a compassionate person? Would your patients say that you're a compassionate doctor?
They would say that I have a lot of passion, okay? And that comes through, I think, rather easily. If they listen to the radio show, they can see and hear health-related issues that bring out that passion. You first heard today what some of the things are that we discussed, and you get the idea that there's a mission here to bring to the listeners with not the Walter Cronkite voice of not being really into it. I'm into it, all right. And so I know that I'm passionate, and I'd like to think that I'm compassionate. However, I know, for instance, in this political world that we're in right now, where you're talking about listening to talk shows where there's nothing but arguments going back and forth to the point where you can't even hear what each is saying. There's such polarization now that that's my best example. When you were trying to explain are people less compassionate now and do they listen to others, it's my best reference to where I find that there is an absolute lack. We call you folks out there in California, those who live on the left coast, you're the lefties, okay? The middle part of the country are righties, and then when you get to the East Coast, again, you're lefties again. These are divisions in political thinking that hold true pretty much and set up the lines of the miscommunication that occurs every night. Fox, MSNBC are classical for it. You want to see people who don't have compassion but are passionate. I think that's one of the best examples that I can tell my listeners about right now. Would you agree?
Oh, I would absolutely agree. And what I'd love to do is let me go through a variety of steps. They all work to bring more compassion into your life, make you feel more compassionate, and keep in mind that you can get lots of information about this on my website, but especially in my brand new book that we did debut on your show recently called Walking on Air, your 30-day inside and out rejuvenation makeover. It's the program I taught at UCLA for 30 years. It's my 27th book. It stands on its own, but I wrote it to go with the previous book, The Joy Factor, 10 Sacred Practices for Radiant Health. That's the book where Wayne Dyer wrote the foreword, and I debuted that on your show, too. But Walking on Air is a 30-day program.
Yeah, that's neat. About 30 days. Every day, another component to your health program.
Yeah, another practice, and they're short chapters, and it's based on decades of work with thousands of people around the world. So I give you a 30-day, life-changing, step-by-step program if you want to be healthier, happier, more successful, and more compassionate. And by the way, here's a toll-free number, because anyone who purchases Walking on Air and or the Joy Factor, you can get a bonus gift. And it's one of my really popular booklets. It's called Conquer Colds and Allergies. You know, it's a change of season, and we're getting close to the cold and flu season. And you might remember I've had neither of these in over a quarter of a century. I've never taken medication in my life. So you've got a full color, beautiful, with lots of photos, a booklet. I'm looking at it now. It's 44 pages. It's a booklet CD combo. You can get free as a bonus gift with a purchase of Walking on Air or the Joy Factor or both. And the toll-free number is 1-800-523-9971. and it happens to be in the Philly area. And yay, Phillies! I want them to win the World Series. Since my Dodgers and Angels are out.
Yeah.
But it's 1-800-523-9971. And this offer is good through Friday. So remember, it's from 8:30 to 5, so 8:30 is in your area in 5 minutes, but don't call until the show's over. And so you say, I heard Susan with Dr. Dennis, I want to purchase Walking on Air or The Joy Factor, and she said that you'd give me a bonus gift of her booklet CD combo, Conquer Colds and Allergies, and the subtitle is Surefire Tips to Find Comfort Naturally and Boost Your Immune System. Lots of patients come to see me for colds, flu, and allergies, and I've got the best remedies you've ever heard. So that's all in the bonus gift you can get.
Okay, looking forward to that. 1-800-523-9971. You do have to wait till 9 until they're up and about over there in Philadelphia, but you don't have to wait for the West Coast to wake up, folks. But this is an East Coast phone number, and so right after we go off the air, you can give them a call. They can call them up, Susan, and order your book and get Conquer Colds and Allergies free with the CD beside.
Yeah, and it's just good through Friday for your listening audience. So how about we start going through some of my steps to find your compassion?
Let's do it.
All right. So one of them is you want to establish some type of meditation program. Now, Dennis, you don't need to be a Buddhist monk to meditate. It's a secular practice. It's one I've been doing for just over 40 years. I meditate every day, but the latest studies out in the last few months, not good scientific studies, show that a few minutes of meditating a day, according to these studies, this changes your brain waves in a very positive way, makes you feel calmer, less stressed and anxious, and more compassionate. And then follow-up studies showed that compassionate people are, you're going to love this one, they're healthier, happier, and more successful at work, and they earn more money. So that's always a good thing. And then, listen, if that doesn't turn you on to meditating, this probably will. Other studies have revealed, and this was in Time magazine, that those people that meditate regularly, a little bit on a daily basis, look 12 to 15 years younger and are physiologically than those people of the same age who do not meditate. And by the way, I've got lots of free information on my website about meditation, how you can do it, and I even had an award-winning book called Wired to Meditate that I made into an audio book for those people that like audio rather than reading something, Wired to Meditate. So you can find that in the store at SusanSmithJones.com. So step one is to establish a regular meditation program.
Very good.
All right. Step two, be aware of what you do the first 40 minutes of every day. Dr. Dennis, the first 40 minutes of each day sets the entire tone for the day. So how do you want those moments to be in the morning? I don't think you want to be stressed out and rushed and then press the snooze button 6 times and have no time for breakfast or eat something standing up. So maybe you can do a few things the night before to get ready so that your morning is more stress-free. Because, again, studies show that people who are the most stressed out have the least amount of compassion. So maybe the night before you lay out your exercise clothes or your work clothes or set the breakfast table, get the kids' lunches made. Whatever you can do to keep those first 40 minutes of the day more relaxed, peaceful, joyful, you definitely want to do. And one of the things I do every morning.
What do you do now? I can't imagine.
I know.
What else
I'm not
can you
sure.
do?
Nobody's listening but you, right?
Oh, you do so many things. How do you...
No. This is a simple thing everyone can do.
What do you do?
First of all, I go into the bathroom, do my thing, and then put cold water on my face to wake me up. and then right there, and I sing a song, and it's from the musical Oklahoma. Can you guess what song?
No.
I did an interview 3 days ago with two cousins, and they were in their late 20s, and I told them about Oklahoma, and they said, "What's Oklahoma? I've never heard of it." But it's, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful
That's
feeling.
how you start your day, right out of the...
Everything's going my way. So that's what I sing in the morning, and you can't help but smile when you do that. So that is just, and then I always do a short meditation in the morning, and I actually set the tone for the day. And I know the mornings, let's say I'm rushing to get a flight or, you know, have to get up at 2 a.m. to do whatever interview, and I can't get in what I like to do. I notice the day doesn't seem to go as smoothly. But really, it's all attitude, and that's another step, is cultivate an attitude that's positive. Focus on the positive and an attitude of gratitude. At the turn of last century, William James, the famous philosopher, said the greatest discovery of this generation is that a human being can change his or her life just by changing his or her attitude. And you might recall that my grandmother, as a teenager, taught me this saying. She always would say, Sonny, that's my nickname, she'd say, attitude is the mind's paintbrush. It can color anything. And always remember, there are three things over which you really have control in your life. One is what you think, and that's your attitude. That's your thoughts, what you focus on. Secondly, what you eat. Nobody shoves the food down your throat, we hope. Thirdly is how you move, how much exercise you get. But you are in charge of what you're thinking, and be aware of your thoughts. If you want to feel happier and more positive and hopeful and confident, focus on those things that make you feel happier, more positive, you know, and have the attitude, Dennis, that something wonderful and magical and joyful can happen to you today when you least expect it. You know, my favorite movie of all time that I've seen more than any other movie is The Sound of Music. And, that, you know, there's a song in that she sings, Maria, I have confidence in me, you know, I have confidence in sunshine and rain, and you've got to have more confidence in yourself. And whatever situations are going on in your life that may cause you stress, what you want to do, and here's the key, a whole chapter devoted to how to change your entire reality by your thoughts and visualizing and meditation, found in my book, The Joy Factor. But you always want to see a situation, no matter its topic or current appearance, as though it's already resolved. You know, that's called visualization or mental movies. And you take a few minutes as you're drifting off to sleep at night, or maybe the first 2 to 3 minutes when you wake up in the morning, when the brain waves are going from, you know, sleep to waking, but your mind and subconscious is more easily impressed with your thoughts and your affirmations when you're in a relaxed state. So, see, in other words, the most effective time to visualize the end result of something that you want and then give thanks for it is when you're drifting off to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. Now, in other words, the worst thing you want to do when you go to sleep at night to make you more compassionate is watch the TV news. Now, you might think I'm centered, I'm balanced, I don't let what I hear or see on the news affect me. But you know what? It's hard not to be affected by the negativity on the news. You want to take into your mind and your thoughts something positive as you drift off to sleep. In other words, keep my books, Walking on Air and The Joy Factor, right on your bedside table. Read a few pages before you go to sleep. And so how are you doing?
Well, I'll tell you, I got lost with the song. I was trying to pick my own song. Where are we in this list? I know about the meditation. That's great.
have 89 tips for you.
Because, well, I thought at number 2 when we're going to be, what we think about in the first 40 minutes of the day. Have we documented where we are now? Are we just at number 3, or are we like at 10 now?
Oh, I don't know. I think there's probably there's attitude. There's so we're probably at about 4. Now, this is a good one. People forget this one. Is you want to live more in the present moment without always judging and criticizing and spreading gossip. In fact, I think that we need to make the golden rule, as my grandmother and mom taught me, our default position in life. You always want to treat others the way you want to be treated. And really, what do we all want? You know, we all want the same thing, I believe. We want to feel appreciated and validated and, you know, feel loved and feel that people truly do appreciate us. You know, one of the things I learned from my grandmother, remember the story, I was really sick as a teenager, and she took me under her wings and told me for 30 days to follow her guidance, and people used to come to her from her block area in the small community for guidance on how to be healthier when they were sick, whether it was an earache or eczema or depression or life-threatening illnesses. She was not a doctor, but she was wise on how to use nature's remedies. And when people came to her who were depressed and didn't feel empowered, she would have them take their shoes and socks off and walk with her in her backyard on the grass, so they were close to the earth. And I remember when that first started, I thought, this is a little crazy. I'd watch out the window, and people would come really stressed out, and you know, so she'd have them walk with her in the garden and observe the beautiful herbs and flowers and trees. And she taught me that the greatest hunger of the human heart is to feel understood. And, you know, we're all born with one ear. No, take that back. 2 ears. Just wanted to see if you were listening. 2 ears and 1 mouth. So maybe our Creator was trying to tell us something. And she taught me that when people really feel heard without judgment and criticizing, they blossom, you know, like a plant that is starving of water in the desert. You give it some water and it just blossoms, and that's how people are. But I think now people are in such a rush in their lives that they have no time for other people, including their spouses and kids, and you know, and even most importantly themselves. They have no time to call their own. And when you are spiritually and mentally and emotionally bankrupt, you separate yourself from other people. You might still be there physically, but mentally you're just completely stressed out. So go back to not being judgmental, and it begins with you. Stop denigrating yourself, saying any negative things about yourself, because you are an amazing, unique human being, and on this entire planet, Dr. Dennis, of the trillions, you know, of people who have ever lived during all the years that this planet has been in existence, there's never been anyone exactly like you, with your thoughts and beliefs and your fingerprints. And then you add to that, now, is this an adult show? No, you add to that you're that one special being out of, and right now there are 6.5 billion people on Earth. And if they all walked past you single file while you're in your rocking chair on your front porch, and you counted them, 1 per second, who walked by you without taking a break, blinking your eye, eating a meal, it would take 250 years to count everybody on this earth. Now, by that time, you'd probably be off your rocker, but this shows me how beautifully unique you are. And then you add to that you're that one special being out of, 50 million sperm and 1 egg that came together, and you already competed in and won the fiercest competition of your life to create you. You're already a winner. You are absolutely magnificent, and you've got to treat yourself as you are, the magnificent being that you are, and then you'll begin to be more compassionate about other people. So live more right in the present. Living in the present moment is different from living for the moment. Stop comparing the present with the past and be fully present. And if you breathe more deeply, be aware of your breath throughout the day, you'll be more mindful of the present. You know, I love to watch little kids. And, you know, you read them a book, and you can read it 50 times, but it's still as exciting the 50th read-through as it was the first. You watch kids help you vacuum or do the dishes or water the plants, things that drive you nuts probably, and you have no time to do, but they can't wait to participate. You know, I think young kids have so much to teach us about compassion and living fully and celebrating life.
You do. All right, let's do this. I have lost count on the list, but you just keep bringing another new concept. I think that this is playing itself out now. It's to be very valuable information. Certainly, it's causing me to pause and introspect. And
pause for a commercial break.
And so I'm going to pause for a commercial break. When we return, we'll get back to the list of what you can do to become more passionate.
Yeah, and I want to talk about how foods you eat and exercise can make you more compassionate.
By the way, I'm up to 7 different body parts with 3 letters. I'm getting good now.
But you can't give them out. Don't give them
No,
out.
I'm not giving them out. I just want to know, you're going to have to, before it ends, you got to tell us what the 10 are.
Well, no, you've got to go to my October
newsletter. Oh, my goodness gracious.
I'll give you 5 of them.
All right. When we come back, you'll give us 5. Folks, you can look at your own list. I'm looking at mine. More on the compassion issue. We'll return with Susan Smith-Jones.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you were looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health here on a Wednesday morning version of our show. Each and every month we bring this young lady to us. She always has messages of great hope and inspiring thought processes that really can have quite an impact on all of us and making our days go very, very well and our life go very much better. Today we're talking about issues of compassion with Susan Smith-Jones. By the way, off air we were talking about those 10 body parts. Let's pick up on that thing with the body parts. Now, I revealed to you I was at the number 7, and I'm 3 away, and I'm searching and battling for the 3. But to find out what the answer really is, they got to do what?
they have to go to my website, SusanSmithJones.com, and right there on the home page, in my photo, there's a button that says October Newsletter. Click on that, and there are different boxes. The first box is the intro. The second box asks, can you name 10 body parts of the human body with 3 letters only, and no jargon or slang is permitted. And then I don't give the answer right there. I tell you exactly where to go to get the answer, because I want everyone to try to figure it out before they see the answer. And I could give you 5 of them now, but I think I don't want to give more than 5.
You want them to get to that website, which, okay, I can understand it, but go ahead, give them.
And, you know, this is great for kids, too, because most kids will know all of these words, and it will teach them where they are on the body. So it's a great little mind game to play with everyone in the family. One would be arm.
Got that one. That was
another one would be ear.
Good.
And another one I already said is eye.
Eye, there's 3.
E-Y-E. Another one is, what is this? What am I doing with my...
Lip.
Yeah, lip.
Yeah, lip.
And another one is hip.
Okay. You've given me no
There's
additional
5.
help, because those, I had my list of 7, folks. I had those 5, and I'm battling for 3 more. I don't know how well you're doing with it, but I'll go to the website later on to learn all 10, but at least you got a real good start with the 5 that she has confirmed. And the 2 additional that I picked up, I'm pretty proud of. We'll let it go with that for now. Let's return back to being compassionate, Susan, and how to help us achieve this wonderful and laudable goal.
Yes. Now let's talk about the foods you eat, because, you know, the foods you eat really do affect your mood. And if you eat all cooked food and you add in lots of junk food, processed food, these foods are going to bring your mood down and make you literally less compassionate. You want to focus on foods that make you happier, put you in a better mood, and that would be foods as close to the way nature made them as possible. Because remember, as my grandmother used to say, in nature we don't find ice cream trees and potato chip bushes and donut vines, but the more naturally colorful your meal is, the more fresh fruits and veggies and greens you eat, the more it's going to make you healthier and boost your mood and make you a happier person and more pleasant to be around. So make sure that you change your diet and eat healthy foods. And again, all of this information is in my new books, Walking on Air and The Joy Factor. And then I have a book completely devoted to food on, check the store on my website. It's called The Curative Kitchen. It's an e-book that's it's 99 pages. It's a wonderful book, completely in full color. Now, another way to increase compassion, you're going to love this, is green exercise. And that means you want to exercise outdoors, not always in your house or in the gym. See, studies done, recent ones, at England's University of Essex, found that 5 minutes, now most people can do that, of green exercise. And that could be hiking, cycling, gardening, skating, walking in the park, and most likely you'll go a little bit more than 5 minutes, but that boosts your mood and self-esteem, and it enhances your cognitive functioning, and it also increases compassion, because the test subjects were more considerate with other people after exercising outdoors, probably because they're breathing in those healthy negative ions. I'll talk about that next. But they also found this. You're going to love this one. Let's say you can't get outdoors and you're working in an office without a window. If you can view an image of nature, a big, beautiful nature image like a photograph or a poster from the Sierra Club, especially one that has an expansive view, studies found that makes you more compassionate. So, and also, let's talk about the sun makes you healthier. that makes your mood more positive. So that helps you as well.
Well,
You know, in terms of the air that you breathe, we're all breathing in ions every day, negative and positive ions. Now, paradoxically, the negative ions are the ones that put you in a better mood, that make you happier and more positive. Those are the ions you find in nature, you know, by the ocean, by trees, in a garden. When you get indoors and you're surrounded by high technology and high-rise buildings, then they're more positive ions, and those bring your mood down. Have you heard of the Santa Ana winds here in my area?
oh, the fires you get from them.
Of course. Now, the Santa Ana winds build up more of those positive ions, the ones that put you in a bad mood. In fact, they say that more crimes are committed when we have Santa Ana winds combined with a full moon that affects your mood and the hormones in your body. But you can bring more negative ions into your environment by putting a small little fountain in your house, or bringing in plants, you know, not silk or plastic ones, but natural plants, because they give off oxygen, they clean the air, they take up carbon dioxide and actually put you in a better mood. And another study done another one in England by Dr. Malcolm Carruthers. It was a 4-year study looking at the effect of norepinephrine on 200 people, and said the chemical key to happiness and compassion was this hormone. And he found that 10 minutes of exercise, and it didn't matter if it was outdoors or indoors in his study, doubles the level of norepinephrine in the body. And we also know that enkephalin is another spirit-lifting chemical that's produced in the brain during aerobic activity. You know, you've heard that phrase, the runner's high, among long-distance runners. Well, that's the enkephalin that's released in the body when you do even brisk walking. You don't need to run. And it's a type of endorphin. You know this. It's a morphine-like chemical that serves as natural opiates in the body, increasing pain tolerance and producing euphoric feelings. And a study I read a few months ago at the Massachusetts General Hospital found that a rise in more than 145% in endorphins occurred during an hour of vigorous exercise. So remember, you want to walk your dog every day, whether you have a dog or not.
Just take that walk.
Yeah, and then also here's the final one. You want to find ways to laugh every day. You know, in my October newsletter, right in the intro, the first box, I have all these different videos, short little clips, you know, from YouTube, funny things that I like, heart-stirring things. But there's one clip that just cracked me up. It's one of the clips from, you know, Carol Burnett and Harvey Korman and Tim Conway about, and this was, you know, decades ago, they're all on a plane flying, and it's a no-frills flight, but honestly, it's not much different than it is today. But the three of them together made me laugh so hard I was tearing up, and I think you'll feel the same way, and that's right in the first box of my October newsletter that you'll find at SusanSmithJones.com.
Well,
plus you'll find the rest of the 10 body parts with only 3 letters.
Well, I'm still at 7. I haven't been able to get beyond it. I'll have to get to the website to find those other 3. In the few minutes we have remaining, a couple things I want to mention. One, we are trying, ladies and gentlemen, earnestly to get Susan here to Pittsburgh, and so I'm hoping that is something that we can announce very soon, that maybe, just maybe, Susan, will everybody be able to meet you in person.
To give a talk, and if there's anyone that has unlimited mileage points that want to donate a flight, that would be a good thing to help make this happen, and then I'll come and speak to all of you in person.
All right, well, that's not solidified yet. I'm just letting everybody know that it's close. And the moment we have it consummated, I'll bring it to you. Wanted to ask you a question. You know, last month you were in preparation for your webinar. How did the webinar go? How did everything work for you?
Oh, that went great. You know, it was all about losing weight, and we will, you know, whenever the time's right for us, let's devote an entire show to my secret tips for losing weight, what I've actually taught for over 3 decades.
Did they record that? Can anybody see that? Was it a one-time event? And
you know what? It's in my October newsletter.
Okay, but the webinar itself you can't visualize it anywhere on the internet. You can't see it?
No, but it's definitely available on my website.
Okay, well, head to the website, folks, and we will cover these weight loss issues sometime in the near future. I know you've programmed that out into the future. Looking at, I'll be able to announce by the time we meet next, folks, by Friday, when Susan will be returning, at least on the airways, and maybe even know a little more about this personal visit as it shapes up. So we're coming right up to the gong now. The bongers are going to begin in a moment. Any final words that you want to leave us with, Susan?
You know, I want to say that, remember, hug. It's great to be hugged, but if you're not around anyone, hug yourself. And remember that tea is a hug in a cup. And the teas, chamomile and lemon balm, among a few others that are on my website, help you to relax, to get rid of stress and anxiety, especially the chamomile and the lemon balm are great. So, you know, a cup of tea might be just what the doctor ordered.
It may be. By the way, hug is not one of the body parts. When you said it, I went, no, can't.
Yeah, nor is tea.
Okay. There you have it, folks. We got bongos in the background. Our time with Susan is coming to an end. Hope you've enjoyed the time we spent with Susan today. I'm going to be with you on Friday for an open phone version of the show. Hope you participate in that. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Dr. Susan Smith-Jones saying so long for AM Impact on Your Health.